Second. So now we have a call to question and a second, therefore we'll stop debate at this time. Can you read the motion?
I could take a little question.
Oh, shoot, I keep forgetting that. Thank you, clerk. All those in favor of calling the question say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 5-1. Please read the motion.
It's to approve Chapter 5, Communications in Public Building as written.
As written with the red?
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to vote nay on all the questions.
Okay, so 4-2. All right. No, you can't say.
Point of clarification.
Yes?
Chapter 155, section 155-17. Previous question. Any member desirous of terminating the debate may call the previous question. Then the question announced shall the question be put. If the majority of the members present voted affirmative, the main question shall be taken without further debate. And its effects shall be to put an end to debate and bring the board to a direct vote.
Okay. So all those in favor say aye. Are you reading the motion again?
It's exactly as it's written here.
It is to approve Chapter 5, Communications in Public Buildings as written.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are we talking about in the red with?
Yep, as written.
As written. Okay. I said all those in favor say aye. All those, I'm confused, but it's the language that you inserted with Tyler, is that correct? Like the red is from a previous discussion? And so, okay. I think I'm reading it right. It's
You are.
okay.
I think I know it's, but
Because we called the question.
Okay.
We can't debate.
Aye. All those in favor aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion fails. 5-1.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the section, the entire chapter, but take out verbal solicitation.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I was missing. Okay. Yes, I would support that. I second that. I totally forgot that. Okay. Any further debate? Yes.
I'm going to vote no on the motion simply because I like your idea of a special privilege process, some way to process some of these applications that we get. I realize it might extend out the timeline, but I think it's worth looking at.
Okay. Trustee McKay.
Yeah, I'm going to vote no because that was a breath of fresh air and it pulled me out. You know, it's like we're just such a polarized board. Sometimes it's just painful and you want to move forward, but I don't think it's right to limit these kinds of opportunities. So we've got to find some way.
I'm a flavor, I'm going to vote no.
Of course. Trustee Carpenter.
So just to clarify, to Trustee Martin's point, what is creating this policy or chapter in our communication policy will there be a way for someone to apply to the village manager saying
No.
So this would
Not for freestanding. They can post on boards. Correct?
yeah, we have public boards that everyone can be able to post. That was one thing that
Absolutely.
we have done. But this, yeah, if it's any physical displays or tables in the atrium, that would be the thing that
Besides
it is
direction
not right
signs.
now as written isn't open to the public.
Can I just point out, I mean, if this gentleman wants to do his survey, he can still ask the library director if he can have space in the library to do it. We're just talking about the lobby, which I actually don't think is the most convenient or laid out the best way to put a table. There's doors on almost every side, so I don't think there's really a convenient place to place a table and be soliciting in the lobby anyhow. So it's not prohibiting him from using library space. That'd be up to the library director and the library boards. We're just talking about the lobby area.
And I'll call upon you, sir, when we're done debating. I believe in consistency and policy, and I really feel like staff has brought this to us with the recommended language to give direction. And if we start doing things case by case based on, I mean, I don't want to say no to mental health for students, okay, because I support it 100%. But in general, I also support diabetes and, you know, causes for heart disease and, you know, we could get into abortion versus no abortion. And we had this discussion at this board level for that exact reason that it is not, I don't feel we should be determining on a case-by-case basis use of a space based on the language or the topic that is being discussed. And I just to go to the referendum, since it was brought up now multiple times by Trustee Buckhorst, the actual debate and around that surrounded the language, and that was, would you inform someone of what a no vote does? Yes, no. So it becomes content related, and that's very labor intense for a policy decision board. We're not usually in that minutia. And that's why we delegate down. And so I respect the community's concern. I respect all the trustees on this board that have that opinion that we want to do it case by case. I'm going to vote yes, I think. Yes, it was the motion that I seconded, correct? Because I truly believe we need to set some policies that help our administrator guide our time. We are really getting, and also it will help stop this. And you know, that was my job the day I got elected, was to stop bickering on our board, and we're continuously avoiding adopting policy, so we can, and we're going to continue to bicker about content that's administrative in nature. And so that's my opinion, and so that's why I support the motion. Trustee Buckhorst.
I didn't explain why I was going to vote no. I've kind of explained all of that before. But again, I want to go to the fact that this is public space, and there are a lot of things that you can do in public space. For example, you can collect nomination signatures or signatures for recall or all those kind of different things. You can do that on public sidewalks. You can do that in the library, outside of the library. I understand if you're violating some noise or some other kind of things or being a disturbance, why that would be problematic. I also agree with solid policy, though. I mean, we should have great policy that helps us govern and that helps our staff make decisions. And if we did go by pure staff recommendations, our board meetings would be probably a third of the length that they have been, because this board in particular gets so into the weeds, gets so into the minutia and micromanaging of our staff and operations, which is well beyond our pay grade. That's why we have a village manager and why we and review her, and she's responsible to us as a board. So I don't think this policy is sound. I think that again it's antithetical to a lot of, we have a very erudite village and one that is opening and welcoming of all different individuals and all this stuff. And again, if it becomes a problem that there is a run on the library space, then we can deal with it. I agree. I also don't want to go to a case-by-case situation. My suggestion would be to let's vote no on this and figure out if we do want to go forward with a policy, one that makes sense for our community, because I don't think this makes sense for our community.
Tyler, just to follow up to that, does this, as language stated in the motion, prohibit people from speaking on a sidewalk or verbally talking about a cause in a public space?
Oh, I'm not saying it does. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
And it can't.
Okay, because we struck that, right?
By striking verbal solicitation, it's once again, it's focusing on physical things.
Like just the physical things, the tables and space limitations. Okay. Any further discussion? And then I know there's a resident that wants to speak. No? Okay, sir.
Well, I was just going to speak to the issue of whether it's in the library.
Come to the microphone, sorry.
I was going to speak to whether it matters whether it's in the library or the lobby. And as a researcher, it really doesn't matter. It could be in the lobby, it could be in the library. I do believe that it is in the best interests of the community to allow research to occur in the community that's been approved and been vetted. As a citizen of Shorewood, I do believe that the lobby should be public space and should be, allow for activities that are, reasonable activities that have been approved by some reasonable person or set of persons. It would, again, be concerning to me, being in a community that is overly restrictive of whatever community, I was, debate or, whatever those activities may be, not just the activities that I'm requesting, but other activities as well. I believe that is what public space should be. So I felt as though I should say that.
Thank you so much. And to clarify that we do have the bulletin boards, that we had lengthy discussions. Okay, there is public space. Go ahead.
Right. The other thing was, we did have a discussion at the board level several years ago regarding solicitation in the village and people needing to register for permits and all these different things. And I think Trustee Amenta was alluding to this, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was not a solid policy, and that was something that even though we voted on it later on, we rescinded it because we realized it violated not only people's rights, but also the spread of information and all of these things. So I kind of see this as analogous or similar in nature to that policy that we adopted, but then later rescinded and realized that it was unconstitutional, also against what we believe in and what we represent in Shorewood.
Just a
But you still can do
clarification,
that.
that was never rescinded. There was a letter from the ACLU informing the board that the policy they adopted was unconstitutional. It was never rescinded, it was just never, an ordinance has to be posted, and so it was just not posted.
So that's
But this board never
But
took
for
action.
clarification, yes,
Not
I'm sorry. But this does not do that. Is that correct? This, without the language of verbal solicitation, it does not prohibit verbal solicitation of a cause.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so it's, okay, go ahead.
So just one point of clarification, Director Collins is here tonight. Director Collins, was this approved for location within the scope of the library itself?
I had not brought it to the library board. I talked with Paul earlier, and my thought, I actually think that the lobby space likely is a better space. You're attracting traffic that's going throughout the village center. And so it...
So it was a no?
What?
Sorry, I thought I was...
brought it to her board for discussion. But I'm sensing that for tonight, I'm not hearing consensus from this group. Is this something that you need to vote on, or do you need to take this back to the standard city?
We're
There's
voting.
no motion on the
Okay.
order.
Great.
Do you have a recommendation? Did you want to say?
No, I'd like to proceed with the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
To call a question.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the calling the question, and we'll vote on calling the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we will read the motion one more time and we will take a vote.
To approve Chapter 5, Communications in Public Buildings, and to take out verbal solicitation under B1.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Sorry. Could you reread that?
Yes. It is to approve
Maybe
Chapter
look-
5, Communications in Public Buildings, and to remove the wording of verbal solicitation under B1, Protocol for Posting Communications, General Public.
So allow it.
That was
Allow it.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do it again. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion fails 3-3. So we do not have a policy.
I would like to make a motion
Yes, just okay.
to adopt the policy without, oh, I already tried that motion.
Can I make a
Tyler.
recommendation?
You can ask us, you can tell us a suggested motion, is that what you're saying?
I would like to, because I need some kind of direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, if I don't get any direction, I don't know what to do between now and next meeting. I heard some interest just looking at what a application process would maybe look like.
I would hate this to be a special privilege application.
Yeah, so I don't know, I just wanted to ask for you as a board, is that something you want to look into? I could get a quick verbal yes or no on that.
I don't want you to, it's too time consuming and it's administrative. We need to set a policy.
That was my preference, that was the reason for my no vote, but I figured we can see how the policy works.
So without a policy, what is the process?
They deny everything, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, we've been denying everything right now because
Then
there's
I
no
vote for that.
policy.
I go for that.
Because as staff, we don't want to set policy, and if we're approving
Right.
and denying, we're setting policy. So any
That's what I love.
requests, we've asked, we've deferred until this policy has been
Let's bring it
adopted.
to the full board then, sure.
We are the full board.
Yeah, no, I mean, when people have requests, bring it,
What,
bring it
I
out.
think the question
The
is
question is,
what would get to 4 votes?
No,
Which Mike is
for a policy.
So if staff's gonna bring something back, they need direction
is there
on
like,
what to bring back
Right.
that will get 4 votes.
and so I think Tyler, to be correct here, you want to know, should you create a special privilege process? Now, it's going to be funny because we have ordinances that we're changing about right away. They only apply right away, not park space, but now we're talking about building space and
It would be probably a new permit, so, or application.
an application process case by case. I will never vote for that, but if you want to take the time to do that and the rest of the board would like that, that's fine.
I would like to have the library director or library board help us in figuring out what makes sense for their building that they're managing. So that's what I would recommend.
They don't
No,
actually
they
manage
do not
the
manage the building.
Okay, well, I
And
would
it's
still
not
love
their
their input,
building.
given they
That's
are
what I
in charge
mean.
of the building.
They have space and they have their own policy and they have their own board. So
Just
great
know
for
that-
participation, but
Understandable. I understand what they have as well as.
So what do you ask
So I'm
for?
saying I would like their take on this.
Sure.
I'd like that to
So
come
can
forward,
you ask her,
and then
you
we
know,
can decide as a board,
ask her
make
opinion?
informed decisions instead of our own personal opinions.
Okay,
I
well,
wanted to go back to Tyler.
yes, Tyler.
Yeah, if there's not a consensus, I think if you give me the flexibility, I might just put together 2 or 3 different options and just, if you want to start there, because otherwise, if I don't have direction, I mean, I'm just gonna look at some alternatives for you to look at your next
I
meeting.
think it just comes down to, and that's fine, policy, just, you can make a
There
policy
would be
option.
policy alternatives to
or
what you
we
have
can
in front of you
administrate
today.
every case, and
Yeah.
that's really what it comes down to, and that's okay. All right,
Consensus around alternatives, I would.
And just give me the flexibility, I'm just gonna come up with 2 or 3 alternatives for you to review.
and which committee should this go to?
JPNL?
Strategic initiative.
No, I mean, what did it go to?
I think we did a committee of the whole.
Oh,
We did, yeah, they've been.
We've been doing this as committee of the
well,
whole.
let me, Rebecca and I talk about it. Excellent.
And to trustee Bachner's point, I've been working closely with Rachel on the development of this policy from the beginning, so I'll
Right.
continue to do that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry if I implied otherwise.
Yes, Rebecca.
I'm gonna suggest deferring 9B and 9C. And reordering, taking 9E next, followed by 9D.
I agree, okay. Do we need to take a vote on that?
Yes, please.
All right, so, the request, and I'll make a motion, and trustee Warren will second it, to take not out of order, our agenda, and we'll move up at this point in time, 9B and E above 9B and C.
Oh, she said defer B and C.
Oh, defer?
Defer B and C after the next meeting.
I agree, because those are all tied together. Public space, private right of way, special events.
And then also suggest taking 9E first.
Great. All right, so
Board was all applied.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, my motion is to move 9E, so defer B and C and move to 9E and then 9B. Yeah, well, there's a motion on the table, so I do need a second and a vote, and then we have a second break. And a second, so we do a vote, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, motion carries, and we'll take a 5-minute recess, and we'll be back.